talk about what's going on in Ivory Coast. I hope everybody is all right. There's a lot of craziness going around in the world, and is the world is in chaos right now. But really, what I really want to deep dive into is what's really going on in Ivory Coast. I have family in Ivory Coast. If you know Ivory Coast, you know it's a place where when it comes to like politics and politicians and how the country is really run is crazy. The regular people would not know too much unless you're like um, a high official or you're just into this kind of things. The majority or 80% of the population or 70% could be illiterate, so they don't really know what's going on. They get what they get. So this craziness going on with Alassane Ouattara, the takeover. I don't really know if it was true. It has been debunked on so many occasions, but I think, from my own personal opinion, I think it was an attempt, and they're just trying to hide and cover it because there's so many signs that leads to why I really think that it was a coup attempt on his life or trying to take him out. Some said he fled to France. Some say he's still in the country. He had a meeting with his cabinet members, and there was pictures and stuff going on that took place, and there was evidence on the meeting. And they said during that meeting they were actually talking about how to advance the nation. It's crazy. They're talking about taking you out, and you were having a meeting about how to better the country. Why weren't you bettering the country, and this wouldn't have been going on? So it doesn't make sense. So and also the internet or light going off, so the citizen wouldn't be able to actually voice their what's really going on ground in the country. So I feel like that's why the internet was off, because now we're in the age of social media, so anything that happens is like the whole world can know instantaneously. So I think that was a good strategy for them, the government, to shut down the internet or the light, so their citizen wouldn't be able to voice, or so the world can see what's really going on, or how the chaos there, and so they can just rapidly handle it, and hide it under the table like nothing ever happened. So I think he should actually take this attempt or this coup attempt as a warning, because now he knows where the heart of the citizens are. Because if you notice, like when this news broke out about the coup attempt on his presidency, um, the whole world was happy. They were rejoicing because a lot of the thing that is happening now in the world, where the West influencing, and he's meeting with people from the West and France and all these things that are trying to blockade the Sahel region from uplifting themselves and liberating themselves, and he being an ally with them, and actually trying to aid the United States in helping bring down those people. I think kind of took away the favor the favoritism of a citizen from him, because since birth, we as black people, for hundreds of years, we have wanted to be liberated and become uh, free, to have a voice in the world. And if you see a nation uniting, coming together and saying, hey, we are here to take on the heart of our nation and our people, and liberate ourselves and do for ourselves, and not let an outsider dictate what we do for our people. So it's now time for Africa to rise, and he being an aid and an ally, uh, uh, um, to try to take that away. I think that's what kind of shook the world, because if you notice on social media, anywhere in the world, anybody that had a phone was speaking out their voice and how happy they were that Alassane Ouattara was actually going to be taken out, because of the rumors of him aiding the United States. And these are just my opinion, and from what I'm seeing, from what I'm reading, I'm not there, but these are what I think uh, are leading to the things that are happening now in Cote d'Ivoire. And I think Alassane Ouattara, if he's given the opportunity, should probably uh, make a speech saying that he's ready to help actually develop Africa and leave these Westerners and also take them out of their country like many sub-Saharan West African nations are doing. Like Mali is now on the board. Senegal is doing the same thing, and I think in this lifetime, what I have seen, this is my thought. I think the great Mali Empire is coming again. It's going to be arisen again because these are the Manding people are liberating themselves, and through that liberation, I think they're gonna find something in common and unite, and we can have that royal kingdom again. The Arabian have their, the UAE has theirs, the Emirates have theirs. Why can't Africa have theirs? If I feel like Africa, if the sub-Saharan region like Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Toure and these guys of Niger and Chad come together and form that correlation. I feel like other African nations right now, from all I'm seeing, yes, there's other African nations from like the uh, Kenya and Rwanda and all these people are also doing it, but I feel like the more is more impactful on the west side and between the Manding people. That's what I'm seeing now of West Africa, that they're actually being the spearhead of this movement. Yes, South Africa has always been doing it. Like I love Malema and his inspirational speech and stuff, and I know he's always for the African people and their liberation. Um, so Alassane Ouattara, I think this is a message to you to show you that the Ivorian people do not have don't does not want to have anything to do with the destruction of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and they want to actually live in peace, and they want to have a leader on that present or exemplify himself and his people and put his people first in building schools, whether it's roads, whether it's infrastructure. I think many African countries are actually on board on that. Like I've seen people even um, speaking their mind, their voice on like, we can't wait for this to come to Nigeria. And I think Alassane Ouattara, the border that they were talking about between Ghana, Burkina Faso, and I think the reason that Ghana received some military trucks and stuff was because of Ivory Coast. Because if you look at the borderline between Burkina Faso, Ghana, Ivory Coast is that borderline that which they put they showed that there was a lot of people trying to invade or attack around that area, and so I think that's why Ghana actually took those trucks, 14 trucks, tanks from the United States in order to kind of fight off Ivory Coast because they're out here aiding the West on the bringing down Ibrahim Traore. So I think what happened on Tuesday was them saying that they're not in for it. They're not in for the aid of helping the Western world actually bring down their brother, a man that has always been very proud of who he is and where he comes from. And I think it's a great thing, and but what I do not want to see is like innocent lives and innocent people get hurt in that process, and it should happen in a very clean way, like Abraham Toure was able to do for Burkina Faso, or it's a wake up call for our elder. He is our elder, and even though he hasn't been leading the way that the Ivorian or the Ivorian people want him to lead, I think he should take a here and listen to the voice of the people. If they're angry and mad, I think then the people that put him in place to be the president and leader, if they're stating their voices and saying, hey, we do not go for that, we want to actually grow, we do not want to destroy one another, we want the outsider out of our home affair, I think it's time for Alassane Ouattara to take heed to his people and actually help join into correlation and see like how Ghana was trying to give a port to Burkina Faso. I think Ivory Coast should actually give some of their port as well and work together in building one another because the infrastructures now that are growing in Burkina Faso, I think can bring a lot of benefit to Ivory Coast as well. And I think Alassane Ouattara should kind of just step away from the West and say, hey, look, I would rather be with my people and my brothers and work alone and grow because there have been since history have shown that since colonization we have been trying to get help from the West, and every time they come to give help we never really grew, we never went anywhere. And I think his picking a side with Ibrahim Toure and the rest of the other Sahara region nation will actually aid Ivory Coast in a better way. If you even go to Ivory Coast now, do you know how much Burkinabe are in Ivory Coast? If it comes to like selling like lambs and all these farming cocos and stuff like that, the majority might be Burkinabe people. You know, we are brothers, we are siblings, we are the same people, and we're just across different borderline. I think we should choose each other first before we let another person come and corrupt our mind that will take us even way back because it's now time for Africa to rise. And I think we should help one another out and actually build because if you look at it, man, every other country above the sub-Sahara, like the Arab nation, Mauritania, Libya, and all these people are using their natural resources, gas, oil, and they're benefiting their people. Why is it that like just below the Sahara Desert is like just worse? It's chaos. We can't control or manage our resources. We can't utilize anything to do something for ourselves. Our children are just running across the sea, risking their life for to say that they want a better life, but when they're going across these river oceans and stuff, they're losing their lives. Some of them are coming into the country and then finding out that oh man, it's documentation and job is difficult. So um, I think this is a really important thing. I think it was meant to happen. It was destined to happen to Alassane Ouattara, so he knows how the situation is now, and now he gets to choose whether he want to continue depriving his people and destroying his people, uh, and while giving their wealth to the Western world, and he and his family are the only one living in a comfortable life when we don't have roads, we don't have lights on all our streets, we don't have clean running water, our resources are just being packed out and shipped out, and we don't have industries and stuff like that on our own that someone else hasn't brought in. Either he continued to sponsor that evil or he starts building schools, universities, actually promoting what Saudi Arabia did. Take some of the student out in the Western world, go get certification, and come back to come rebuild their country, their nation, to build a continent. And that's one thing that I think he should actually look into. And this time that he's doing, whether he's hiding out or wherever he is, if he's in France or he's in Ivory Coast, um, I really hope he takes this time to actually uh, um, reflect on what he wants his legacy to be known as, because it can become evil, it can become bad for him. That now his people uh, are doing presentations, revolutionizing, and really wants him out. And while he being the president now, he can make that change and that decision. He is the leader now, um, and I think he has that power and authority to change and fast and make it known and publicize it on television, and people want to see his action like Abraham Toure is doing. He's not even doing a lot of television talking and stuff. He's just taking an action, and they're grafting and seeing his action and work that is being done in Burkina Faso. And I think he should just say, hey, look, Western world, America, France. We have been in business for a very long time, but I think this time I'll rather bet on our people and our eagerness to develop ourselves and bet on your own people first. So yeah, guys, if you really like this video, just go ahead and subscribe. I will try to put videos like this on topics, and I kind of just speak out my mind and give educational thought or my perspective of things or how I see things, or um, things that I've come across during my studies and reading books. And so it's just that, based off of that. And I'm pretty sure we're like-minded people, um, that are probably also doing the same thing or running across the same knowledge, and how we can better ourselves as a black people all across the world, and how the whole every black nation should come together and do business with one another. And and imagine an economy that massive. We will be unstoppable, and the world, we can then show the world how things are actually meant to be, in peace, in harmony, working alongside with each other, aiding each other in the right way, and not for a way of greed or taking from one and giving to another. Just sharing and all living on the same planet, in the same continent, um, uh, or either, even though it's on different continents, but we also feel that peace and harmony within ourselves. So I think this coup was a very great attempt and a learning experience for Alassane Ouattara. So peace, love,